Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for today's webinar. My name is Tom Reed. I'm the program manager for the Clean Energy Manufacturing in Appalachia program. I would encourage you all, if you're not familiar with our SEMA program, to visit our website at wemakeithere.org/clean energy. I will put the email, the web address in the chat. If you have not visited us, please do so. But today, Matt Henderson and I are excited to introduce our guests for today, and it's a group of gentlemen that I have gotten to know pretty well over the last couple of months. A little sneak peek for the end of their webinar. We have all been working together on a bill analyzer tool that is going to be released very soon. That will be a great opportunity and a great tool for manufacturers who are looking to make reductions with their electricity bill. But before we get to that point, there's a lot of great information and a lot of great resources. Manufacturers, one of your biggest expenses is your electricity bill. And sadly, many of the companies are leaving money, they're spending money they don't need to. And so we are happy to introduce the Inspy Technologies team and let them share with you some of those details. I know Dwayne, TJ, Titch, and Wilver, we've talked quite a bit, but we're going to turn it over to Dwayne, the founder of Inspy Technologies, and he and the team will walk you through some really important information. I hope you will listen in, and we are going to record this and put the video up. So if there are some folks that you know of that should hear this, with the video will be up in a couple of weeks that you can share that with them. All right, welcome, guys. Turn it over to you, Dwayne.
Thanks, Al. How's everyone doing? Thank you for everyone for attending. Hopefully, we present some great information that can help you reduce some of the cost for your energy bills. Like Tom said, my name is Dwayne Caldwell. I'm co-founder and CEO of Inspy Technologies. Inspy, we really focus on helping companies manage their energy in more efficient ways and kind of optimizing their operations through software. So I'm joined by the rest of the Inspy team. We have Titch, who is the co-founder and our CTO. We have our Chief Growth Officer, TJ, and our communications associate, Wilver, on as well. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know if everyone is good to go. And we'll jump right into it. So, as Tom mentioned, we are really here to help identify some of those ways you can reduce your bill, as well as start to understand it in a little bit more granular way where you can look for those opportunities for reduction. And jumping right into it, most people don't understand their bill, so that leads to a lot of errors going unchecked. We know through working with multiple customers, as well as just being within the energy industry for so long, that about 70% of companies have been overcharged at some point. And this is more common than companies believe is happening. And overcharging happens for multiple reasons that we'll kind of get into. One that we see a lot of mistakes are making is bills are just so complex that people don't really understand what to look for. There's over 50 plus components to any average utility bill. And with all of those different components, it makes it very difficult to identify what can be addressed and what charges are there, like service charges that not much can be done about. And some of these inaccuracies and errors lead to customers paying 5 to 15% more on energy costs annually. And that could be thousands of dollars for any consumer within their utility and region. So in order to really understand your bill and address those challenges, the first step is really understanding what is actually on the bill that you can be diligent about moving forward in the future. Let's see, here we go. Sorry. So, one of there we go. The tariffs. That is one of the best ways to really start identifying what you're paying for within your bill. We see a lot of companies that are in the wrong rate structure, paying the wrong tariffs. And what a tariff really is kind of a set of regulated rates for a specific type of energy customer using a specific amount of energy monthly on their bill. So really having an understanding of the tariff and rate structure you're in will allow you to start planning and going forward in the know to adjust that. Say you reduce your energy usage, there's a possibility that you can work with your utility to then adjust the tariff and rate structure you're in to lower the cost of your energy. So how do these overcharges happen normally? So what we see mostly is just common errors, things that on maybe a software side, on the utility side, that were unaware from both parties. So just by understanding your bill and regularly checking it, you can identify some of those errors. Recent case study about a small RV park in Florida realized that they were within some of the wrong rate structures, as well as they had some tax exemptions. So they were able to find roughly about 5,600 in overpayment that they were able to reduce by contacting the utility. Excuse me. So regularly reviewing your bills can help prevent that and stay diligent going forward in order to kind of mitigate against those common errors. Uh, so some of the things on the bill that you really want to pay attention to is the demand and consumption line items on there. So just to kind of give some clarification to what that actually refers to, your demand charge is really the amount of energy that is required for your operation. So that's not necessarily what you're using. Firing up a machine at the beginning of a work shift takes a lot of energy. So that can have your demand charge a lot higher. But then when we're speaking of consumption, that is the energy that you've actually used. So managing when you're firing up the equipment and how much energy is being used efficiently can lower the demand charge, as well as start addressing some of those consumption challenges as well. And other ways to do that is real-time monitoring of your operations. So that will allow you to track usage throughout the day, to identify how much energy you're using during those peak load times and ways to shift operations, heavier and more energy intensive operations to more so of the off-peak times, which is that shifting the high energy activities. And ultimately optimizing energy consumption is the goal for the companies that we work with, which will ultimately lower the cost of energy for you in the long run. So next, I'm kind of talk through a few different ways that we've seen some of our customers and some best practices within the industry that really address any of those challenges. So optimizing kind of the compressed air systems. We see this a lot within manufacturers. So it's really being aware of equipment and energy usage. Leakages can cause and waste up to 30% of systems energy. during operational hours. So really getting a hold of what equipment is being in use, when it's being in use, and really identifying any type of malfunctions. So a lot of preventive maintenance helps in the long haul reduce that energy consumption. We really want to address those challenges, the leaks, as soon as possible, being that it will then affect kind of that demand charge as well as the consumption. So retroactively going back and looking at the bill and seeing that you've had an increase 1 month, we can then go the next month and say, all right, why did this happen? What times were we at peak or using the most energy, and then find some of the errors around what caused that. And if any questions, feel free to ask during any of these slides, and we can kind of answer those questions. This is a more common solution right here to reduce costs. Efficient lighting. A lot of times people overlook this one, and just doing updates to some of the outdated lighting practices and switching to more efficient LED lighting can save a lot of money, thousands annually, just by doing that. And there's so many incentives and rebates out there, energy efficiency rebates, locally through the utility and federally, that will help reduce or update lighting systems for companies. So we really encourage a lot of our customers to look at this process first, on top of some of the just more operational updates and adjustments. Another big issue that we see is efficiently using the equipment and through motor efficiency. So the more power that is being utilized through some of the motors and equipment will consume more energy, especially during those peak load times. So by starting to optimize just kind of that motor efficiency with sensors, ensuring that those motors are running the most efficient from lubrication, alignment, all of the maintenance techniques will help manage that energy in a more efficient way. Something that a lot of people don't talk about is your power factor, which is essentially the rating that the utility gives you for how efficiently you're using your energy. And that is where something like improving your motor efficiency really comes into play. The more efficiently you use that equipment and reduce some of that friction, will lower the premium and penalties you're paying for the power factor maintenance. So this is something that we really suggest companies look into improving and really being on top of in order to reduce consumption. Waste in heat. This is another kind of overlooked option for a lot of customers. So really, first you want to really identify all of the processes within your operation that really focuses or takes heat and cooling processes. Once you really identify all of those different processes, at that point, you want to ensure that there isn't any leakage, or you have the correct insulation, or if there's any way to capture heat, therefore you're not expending any unnecessary heat energy, which would cause your bill to rise through heating, through cooling of the building. So this is something that you can just kind of look into now and start identifying those processes that you can address in the future. And then obviously this is something that all of you are aware of within the manufacturing space, and just really any space that deals with high energy processes. So in order to really lower consumption in real time, it's really about optimizing operations and production. So there's multiple ways that you can really go about that. What we like to encourage our customers to look into is more of the lean manufacturing manufacturing processes. How can you mitigate against waste? How can you adjust operations in a way where you're using energy on more off-peak times and things of that nature, optimizing workflow. And that is where a lot of the real-time monitoring comes in so that it gives you more of the insight and data you need to actually take action. Another place is bottlenecks and just wasted processes within your operations. So really identifying those and addressing those in order to, in a more efficient way, will help you reduce consumption in the long haul. Another one is reducing material handling and transport. If we're having operations and you have a high intensive process in the morning, but a similar process maybe later on during peak time. If there was a way that you can combine those to be more efficiently during that off-peak time, that will ultimately save you in the long run around consumption. Which is one of the top times we really see consumers spending a lot is during those peak hours. So really optimizing your operations around that, you can save, again, a big portion of your utility bill just by optimizing your operations. Efficient HVAC system. So this one is a little bit more intrusive as far as like adding thermostats to do smart thermostats. So heating areas that need to be heated at a specific time where everyone is currently at, or cooling those similar areas at the time. So using some of these smart devices helps automate this process. Therefore, it's kind of removing the human error that could take place in kind of some of those processes and wasted energy operations. Another thing is really updating some of the HVAC into more energy efficient opportunities, which again, there's multiple incentives and rebates out there that assist with a lot of these different efficiency projects. And HVAC is probably one of the top efficiency projects we're seeing across the states now, as more heat pumps come online, more just energy efficient systems are coming online. We really suggest looking into this, especially for bigger operations, as there's a lot of waste around that heating and cooling process. So to ensure like you have that efficient air intake as well is another big process we see there is a lot of waste. So identifying where you can really take in some of the HVAC system efficiency projects, you can see a lot of reduction there as well. Excuse me. And then ultimately, just conducting like regular energy audits. A lot of times we see companies go a year or two without really auditing their energy processes. So we see a lot of different ways that you can really go about doing that. You can hire energy consultants. We work with a lot of energy consultants today, helping them really use their knowledge as well as our software to address some of the challenges for our customers. Another thing is energy monitoring software. We see by having data that you can act on, and then also being reminded and having those updates allows for more proactive projects as well as proactive operational optimization. So we really encourage people to have more regular real-time monitoring. And as I mentioned before, some of those low-cost solutions that really drive reductions, such as insulation, the efficient lighting, and some of those HVAC systems really help. And then ultimately, what we do here at Inspire, as well as our partnership with SEMA, has really revolved around the bill analyzer. Uh, all of kind of those actionable optimization techniques, as well as the insights we've packed into our platform, where you are able to just really upload your bill and get those recommendations and insights, and as well as the ability to kind of read those errors to find the opportunities for you to reduce cost and consumption within your operations. We focus on simplicity so that you're not really having to learn energy. You're really focusing on your operations, increasing your margins, and making your business better. So that is why we really work with customers who want to grow their business and provide the tools for them to do so without having to learn energy altogether.
Yeah. So Dwayne, I'll just add one thing. I mean, the intent behind the bill analyzer, as you mentioned, right? Energy bills are complex. There's a ton of stuff that you have to pick apart from them. Um, I equate it to my cell phone bill. I don't know how many people on the call, right? You auto pay your cell phone bill and you look at it every once in a while and you're like, man, it doubled or it went up 40% and I don't know why. Same thing happens with your electric bill from time to time. But what we find is a lot of the companies that we worked for, they're busy running their business. So the last thing that they want to do is become an energy expert. And that's where we leverage the bill analyzer as a baseline, a simple tool. And as you can see from the previous slides, there's a ton of stuff that you can do to drive energy costs down. But the bill analyzer is intended to be simple and customized. So we're not going to we don't recommend our customers do everything under the sun to become efficient. But what the bill analyzer allows our customers to do is a simple way for them to understand where they are, establish their energy baseline, and a specific roadmap for them on how they can drive energy costs down. So the intent behind it is so that our customers don't have to become energy engineers, but can still benefit from some of the cost reduction that comes with a customized plan.
Exactly. Yep. I also wanted to address a few questions that we had before the webinar. So the first question around adding equipment during due to equipment updates and kind of bills increasing due to that additional transformer being added. A lot of times what we kind of consult with our customers to do is really look for some of those incentive and rebates to pay for some of those equipment updates. But ultimately, after the project is completed, what we see is really being able to utilize the equipment in a efficient way where the cost isn't increasing. So things like your power factor, by utilize or optimizing the power factor, that lowers kind of the penalties you would pay for not using it as efficiently. So something like a transformer, the more efficiently you use your energy, the less of the consumption that you would be billed for, even if there's set contracts for minimums. Another thing is really negotiating maybe a demand response program and participating in that in order for that to kind of offset some of the increased cost from those additional projects where you're also being paid back by the utility. Negotiating rate structures is another way based on the power not only used, but the power that can be saved for some of that demand response. Participation is another way that you can really address some of those runaway costs within some additional updates that are increasing bills. So it's really around optimization and finding ways to work with the utility where that increased efficiency, you're being compensated for in the long run. I also would look into retroactively kind of checking out some of the rebates. A lot of times utilities as well as the state offer rebates for maybe adding a transformer or adding energy efficient equipment that you can get the cost portion of the cost paid. A program of the REAP program pays up to 50% of a project totaling up to 500,000, I believe, for projects similar to that. Another question around companies that manage a portfolio of buildings. The bill analyzer really focuses on companies like that as well to identify where the highest cost is coming from, which property, which manufacturer or manufacturing operation. So we really address that as well as at a multi-site and portfolio level. And have a few minutes left if anyone have any questions.